like to welcome you to the 2017 Swede Day Parade and Celebration. As the color guard approaches, I'd like to give you the description of who they are. This is the Rochester American Legion branch. It is called the Corporal Christopher Nelson branch, post and unit 49. Along with the color guard is Rochester Boy Scouts Pack 317. Local American Legion Group, Corporal Christopher Nelson, Post 49, is new to the community area and is here to serve veterans as well as their community. They are a very active part of our community and we appreciate having them here. They also sponsor the local Scouts and Troop 317. Feel free to join their cause and their youth program. The American Legion here in Rochester has been an active part of the Chamber of Commerce and has helped with many local community events. We really appreciate the sponsorships and the activities provided by the American Legion members. Following up the American Legion display are the Grand Marshals, Gene and Janet Weaver. His granddaughters, Billy and Tia, are holding the banner as they're going through. Gene was born right close by to here, about a mile north, in 1936. Gene and Janet have come a long ways since their start as turkey farmers out here on the Rochester Prairie. They claim that raising their family was just like raising a bunch of those turkeys. It's my pleasure and my honor to be announcing for my parents, Gene and Janet Weaver. Following the Grand Marshals is the Swede Day Court 2017. The Swede Day Court, they are all juniors at Rochester High School. The Swede Day Royalty Court, riding in a 1966 Plymouth Sport Fury, owned by David James. While we're waiting for the next entry to get up close to the judges' stand, I'd again like to remind you all about the Rochester School Alumni Reunion on July 17th. That would be at the Rochester High School, followed by the Big Rock Reunion down at Big Rock in Gate City at the Gate City School. The name of this next entry is the Swede Day Allman Dance. This is a once-a-year dance group. They come together just to perform for Swede Day in Rochester. The dancers come from all around Puget Sound and are wearing folk costumes representing the various Scandinavian countries. Some costumes are authentic, made from Sweden, Norway, and Finland, while others are generic and made locally, often referred to as Ballard Banads. Dances along the parade route include variations of the Swedish Hambo, Scottish Swedish Waltz, and Röros Pulse, all names of dances. The Swede Day Allman Dance will be performing at the Swede Hall immediately following the parade. Following the Almond Dancers is the Centralia Chehalis Vintage Auto Club. They began in 1962, and they're a group of people from around the Centralia, Chehalis, and Lewis and South Thurston County area, all sharing their love and their antique autos and their preservation. Today's cars are a 1935 Huckmobile, next is a 1923 Chandler. Third in line is a 1928 Dodge Senior. There is also a 1940 Ford Deluxe, a 1941 Buick Special. The bullet nose on the red car denotes this as a 1951 Studebaker Champion. Following the Studebaker is a 1953 Buick Riviera Special. Beautiful old cars. A 1955 Ford Fairlane Club Sedan is the dark green car. The ever popular 1957 Chevy. A newer model, it's a 1978 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. And finally, a 1935 American Bantam. Representing the Rochester Lions Club is this old fire engine. The old fire engine is being driven by Larry Quernstrom, longtime Rochester resident and Lions Club member. Buy your raffle tickets at the Swede Hall for this cord of firewood. Help support the Rochester chapter of the Lions Club. We appreciate all that the Lions Club does for our area and our community. Representing the Rochester Co-op Preschool, teacher Missy McLaughlin, board members, and the Rochester Co-op students, they're looking to sign up new students for the 2017-2018 school year. Stop by their preschool located in St. Mark's Church, the Lutheran church on the east end of town, and grab a registration packet. Talk to the teacher, Missy, and tour their amazing local preschool, the Rochester Preschool. The horses and those on horseback are representing the Rochester Wranglers 4-H group. They want to remind everybody here in town today that they're putting on a car wash in July to raise money for attending the county fair. The Rochester Wranglers 4-H group. Visit their Facebook page, the Rochester Wranglers 4-H group, for location and details. This entry representing Bailey's IGA, entry number 9. They want to remind everybody to shop locally. Bailey's IGA has been a long-time member of Thurston County and the Rochester community and helps support many of our local activities and charities. I'd like to remind everybody to shop locally. The youngsters in the soccer garb, they are representing the Rochester Youth Soccer Club. Fall soccer registration is open now. Representing Dick and Pam Griffin, they have a 1929 beautiful old Model A Roadster pickup. Gorgeous vehicle. Following up, representing Security State Bank, they've been locally owned since 1903. The Rochester Warrior Band will perform. The Rochester Warrior Band, under the direction of Kelsey Cosin. They have the joy of bringing their love of music to the community, and they would like to thank the Chehalis tribe for their generous donation this year, as well as the community support for the Rochester Band. Good job. This 1964 and a half Mustang convertible is representing Mary Combs, and it looks like the Vikings have hitchhiked. This old Mustang is all original and came from Southern California. And here come the Vikings. A Rochester Swede Day fixture. We've threatened to have them banned from the community, but they threaten to ransack the community unless we let them in. The Vikings have been here in this parade. This is their 25th year. This year's participants in the Vikings are Dick and Nancy, Stan and Sandy, Trent, Kim with Ellie, Jack, Kate, Matt, and Cora, and a whole variety pack of Erickson families and all kinds of folks from up the valley.
Happy Swede Day! Happy Swede Day! We need
marshals! Representing Wilson Auto Parts, our local Napa dealership. Longtime members of the community, Napa has been a mainstay for auto parts in downtown Rochester. This next entry represents the Chehalis tribe, prince and princesses, and their law enforcement. Miss Chehalis, Madison Carter, is along for the ride. Junior Miss Chehalis, Danae Cayenne. Little Miss Chehalis, Caitlin Pickernell. And Miss Head Start Chehalis, Juliet Kramer. The Chehalis Tribal Law Enforcement Vehicle with passengers Jake and Jackie Dickerson. The Chehalis tribe has been a real supporter of our South Thurston community. Rochester, Grand Mount, and their casino has been a great addition over the last many years. They support many jobs, and the families appreciate their community participation. This 1951 Chevy pickup, owned by David Ruge. This is a truck that he bought at the age of 15. He always drove it on no rain days due to the wooden bed. David drove this same truck in a Swede Day parade when he was 16, and he still has the pictures from that day. Representing Valley Ranchers 4-H group. Where are you from? Oh, Rochester. The Valley 4-H Ranchers, they're from a Rochester group, teaching families and youth how to care for animals and gain responsibility. Representing AmeriCool Heating and Air Conditioning. AmeriCool is located on Irwin Street, just east of Rochester. They'd like to remind you to choose AmeriCool for all of your heating and cooling needs. And don't forget about your HVAC maintenance. There is up to $1,800 available in rebates through Puget Sound Energy when upgrading your heating and cooling system. Call AmeriCool right here in Rochester. Shop locally, buy locally. The Rochester R-Fan, Rochester Friends and Neighbors. They're a local nonprofit group of volunteers who assist with food, medicine, transportation, and just general support associated with a family's tragic event. They respond immediately to needs. This year, Store and Grow Storage donated this Ford F-150, which will be raffled off at the Fall Social on October 7th. You can buy raffle tickets. They're $5 each, and they're available anywhere you see that truck. Just in case anybody breaks down along the parade route, the R-Fan Wrecker, owned and driven by Lowell DeGuys, will help tow them off the road. Representing the Grace Baptist Church. They'd like to remind you to join them Sunday, July 2nd at 10:30 in the morning for Church in the Park at Independence Park here in Rochester behind the old primary school. That July 2nd event will be followed by a potluck barbecue and organized fun and games. Join the Grace Baptist Church on July 2nd at the Independence Park behind the old primary school here in Rochester. Riding in the big diesel truck flatbed. These are the Rochester Warriors Youth Football Cheer Squad and South Sound Warrior Baseball League champs. They'd like to remind you to register now for this season's Warrior football season. They offer youth football and cheer camps for grades kindergarten through 8th grade. This is sponsored through Thurston County Youth Football League. This is the Rochester Youth Cheer Squad. Very nice girls. Once a warrior, always a warrior. Continuing on with the Rochester Warriors youth football and cheerleading, they'd like to remind you that registration is open for students from kindergarten through 8th grade. They have flag football, tackle football, cheerleading. Registration is open to all 2nd through 8th graders. Register online at tcyfl.com and choose Rochester Warriors. You can register until July 15th. The marching band approaching is the Rochester Middle School Marching Band. The Rochester Middle School Band is directed by Rich Pasco and is led by the parade by Elizabeth Ashton and Karen King. School. Great performance, kids. Give them a big hand. If you haven't attended the Independence chicken races, you should make an effort to do so. The Independence Valley chicken races. A week from Sunday off of Nelson Road in the Independence Valley at the Grange Hall. Lunch starts at 12 o'clock and the chicken races start at 2 o'clock or whenever the chickens decide they want to race. Always a good time at the Independence Valley chicken races. Representing Young's Glass Company. This old Ford F-250. They want to remind you to visit their company. They're off of Tower Street in Centralia. They're serving all commercial glass needs. The Jackson Highway Veterinary Clinic. Bring your small pets with their veterinary needs to the Jackson Highway Veterinary Clinic. They're a small animal veterinary clinic at Jackson Highway near Mary's Corner in Chehalis. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office. They've been representing and serving the citizens of Thurston County since 1852. That's 1852. That's a long time. The Thurston County Sheriff's Department covers an area of nearly 800 square miles all throughout Thurston County.
164 years, Larry.
Sheriff John Snozza and the 230 men and women of your sheriff's office, they are committed to excellence through pride, professionalism, and accountability in order to provide dedicated public service to our community. Their motto is, people first, public safety always. Thanks for all you do. Throwing out the candy, we'd like to make you aware that John is a Rochester native, just in case you didn't know. Thank you, John. The West Thurston Fire District. They are the West Thurston Fire Authority. Their main office out here on Sargent Road. They are the combined fire departments of Rochester, Grand Mound, and Little Rock. They have been running close to 3,000 calls per year, and they cover 162 square miles from Tumwater to the Lewis County line. This agency is proud to serve and protect the lives and property of the Thurston County residents. This is a pinnacle year for the West Thurston Fire District. This marks their 70th anniversary of the Rochester Fire Station on Albany Street. At the conclusion of today's parade, the terminus will be at the Swede Hall, and I'd like to remind you all to stop by, visit the displays, the booths, and enjoy a traditional Swedish meatball dinner. Thank you all for attending today, and we'll see you all again next year.
Taekwondo is a great exercise. Doctors recommend 1 hour per day of moderate exercise. Taekwondo is aerobic. It increases your flexibility, strengthens the body, burns calorie, and reduces stress. Anyone can do it. All it takes is time and determination. You don't have to be an athlete. You start slowly, and if you have a goal to become a black belt, and you train and work hard, you'll become one. If you just want to sport a sport that you can do by yourself, it's great. You can do it alone. You don't need a team. There's no equipment. It's totally portable. All it takes is you. Start your parallel feet and balance weight. You do a back stance. Pretty right angles to go in back leg. Black belt means Genesis. Right now, our white belts and our PEs are sparring with each other.
Back to mine. Now, shake hands.
Taekwondo always teaches you to show respect to everyone else. We're now going to demonstrate a front kick. Stepping inside kick. The kick now being demonstrated is called an isometric side kick. we're going to do a couple of breaking downs. Ms. Johnson's going to do a side kick and a heel stomp. Master Laurel will be doing a spinning side kick and a downward palm heel. You'll notice throughout the whole process there's a lot of bowing. And it's just a matter of showing respect to each other. That's one thing kids always need a lot more of, showing respect. Master Hall will now do a heel kick and an elbow strike.